Sky Mobile sponsors the transfer window on Sky Sports News.
Romelu Lukaku will arrive in Italy this evening to complete his loan move from Chelsea to Roma. The fee is in the region of £8 million. It was supposed to be a fairy tale in West London for Romelu Lukaku, and it seems like it's coming to an end.
Yes, it does. It was set to be the final piece in the jigsaw for a Chelsea side who had won the Champions League the season before, but was still struggling when it comes to goal scoring. Timo Werner and Kai Havertz not quite providing the goals they needed, despite Havertz scoring the winning goal in the Champions League final. But things got off to a really positive start as well. His second debut against Arsenal, a goal and an assist, and you thought Chelsea at times were going to be unplayable that season with Lukaku there at the forefront of things. But things turned sour very quickly. Gave an interview to Sky Italia in December saying that he wasn't happy with the tactics from Thomas Tuchel, that he wanted to return to Inter Milan one day, and that he simply felt that it perhaps wasn't the move he wanted. So despite the fact Chelsea spent £97 million, I think they're not blameless in this situation. I think Chelsea had their faults too, but I think Lukaku only has himself to blame for the way things worked out. So I think Chelsea for now will be pleased that the chief member of their bomb squad is now looking like he's set to depart the club, but there may still be a situation where next summer they have to try and move him on as well if he comes back from this loan spell.
President of that squad, I would say. Despite being he's a player who divides opinion, I guess, Romelu Lukaku. But Olivia, what does his record look like?
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, he signed back in the summer, as James said, in 2021, and it was so exciting. I think every Chelsea fan sort of thought it was the missing piece of the puzzle, and as James says, that Chelsea were going to be unplayable. He actually scored 3 in his first 3 Premier League games, but he was actually quite quiet in front of goal after that. But he was playing consistently. Thomas Tuchel was picking him every single game. And at the start of December, he did re-find his shooting boots. But as James says, then came that dreaded Sky Italia interview. And I think the Chelsea fans really struggled to get back from that. Thomas Tuchel dropped him for that huge game at home to Liverpool as punishment, and he never really recovered. He did finish that season, and he went on loan, didn't he, to Inter the following campaign. Scored 18 goals across both the Premier League and Serie A, and he got 7 assists as well. Now, this summer, it's all been a bit of a mess. He cut ties with Chelsea. He wanted to go back to Inter. That didn't happen. He flirted with the idea of going to Juventus as well. Both sets of fans really didn't like that. And now it looks like he will be reunited with Jose Mourinho at Roma. And this is a manager who has actually got the best out of Lukaku. He was the one that brought him to Old Trafford back in 2017, and his tactics suited Lukaku's style of play. He scored 27 goals in that first season, 2017-18. Now, he scored 6 goals at the start of the second season, but of course, Jose Mourinho got sacked, didn't he, midway through that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, and he did score a further 9 goals, but those came in 2 3-game bursts. He was also being played out of position, sometimes on the wing as well, and then he was, of course, sold to Inter Milan. But Jose Mourinho has always spoke really highly of Romelu Lukaku, and he said when Manchester United sold him, he said he's a player that he needs to feel like he's the man, he needs to be number one, and he needs to be loved as well. And Jose knows exactly the sort of player he is. He knows he likes playing off a strike partner. He will be getting that at Roma. So I'm sure Romelu Lukaku will be hoping he can get the best version of Romelu Lukaku, because we have actually been missing that. We all know what Romelu Lukaku can offer, Dave, when he's fit and firing. And I think even Chelsea fans out there are gutted the way it's probably ended, given the way they thought when he first came. But I think everyone, the footballer, they want to see Lukaku get back to the player that we know he can be.
There's always been so much talent there with Romelu Lukaku. I think you have to utilise him in the right way as well. I know when he was at Manchester United, they almost used him as a target man. It's worked for him in Italy when he's had a player alongside him. And Jose has a kind of sometimes a love-hate relationship with some of his players, but it seems like it's a love for Lukaku.
I've always felt like he's Jose's kind of player. Jose really likes guys who love the sort of feeling of responsibility in all situations. Diego Costa's another great example of someone he loved, a guy that almost wanted to make the show about him, especially a striker and a centrepiece. He's obviously got Tammy Abraham actually at Roma, who's very different actually. Tammy Abraham's sort of like humble, calm, just wants to score goals, just wants to play football. Lukaku wants to do the media work, wants to do the interviews, wants to wear the responsibility. And I think Mourinho and Lukaku actually, in a lot of ways, have a lot of similarities in personality traits as well. They don't hold back from what they say, and they say whatever they're thinking. But Lukaku's always scored goals wherever he goes. He loves playing in Italy. And I feel like this might be finally the move where we go, he's finally settled. But then Jose could walk out in 6 months and then he's not settled anymore. But I do like the squad that he's going into. I'm just curious to see how they work with the balance of Tammy Abraham, Dybala and Lukaku when they're all fit.